Hi, dear friends. Welcome back to Aksharadhare. I am Devraj. So today is 31st October 2023. So we are in the last day of October month. So I hope you guys are enjoying your life, and I hope you guys are learning it and earning it. And before going to start today's newspaper reading, I would request you guys to please subscribe the channel, like and comment. If you like the video, please share it with your friends. So it may be useful for somebody to utilize the opportunities. So let's start reading the newspaper, which is very important. The Hindu newspaper, which is very important for the competitive exams and also for the language development. So let's start reading the newspaper. This is the front page of the Hindu newspaper, the Bangalore edition. So let's read what's in today news. ED summons Kejriwal in excise policy case. Toll rises to 3. Police probing further leads. Electoral bonds help donate clean money. Putting 70-hour work week into perspective. More work doesn't result in more productivity. Afghanistan continues a giant killing run. As he puts your master's speaker on deadline over defection pleas. Norway got told to decide disqualification petitions in Sena versus Sena dispute by December 31st and against DC NCP's Ajit Pawar faction by January 31st, 2024. Tata Motors awarded a 766 crore in Singur case. School vehicles caused 7 fatal accidents in 2023. AB train crash, stall rises to 14, a signal jump a suspected cause. Bangalore Kambhala to have longest track at 155 meter. Shekhawat launches a tirade against Sidramaya. We have no water to release for Tamil Nadu DKS. Another major fire accident in Bangalore, 18 buses are destroyed. School vehicles caused 7 fatal, 23 non-fatal accidents in 2023. While school management say they follow basic criteria for drivers like ensuring they have 5 years of experience and a valid driving license, everyday checks for alcohol consumption is a problem, they admit. Augmenting for fire brigade, fire safety survey of commercial establishment to prevent fires. Cages set up to capture leopard. HCF holds government notification declaring CCB's leaves as superior officials to HHOs in city. Documents lost. Man gropes women. Police initiate probe. Light the draw rangolis for Rajotsava. BBMP tells people organizers. KSRTC raises relief amount for employees. Family welfare scheme. Under new management at Basveshwaranagar, Bangalore. Shekhawat blasts CM for spreading rumors and misinformation. Sidramaya administers oath and fighting corruption. BJP leaders to go on statewide tour to assess drought. The team will also visit Goshalas in the state. All the BJP MPs and legislatures will be part of the team. Kannada outfit slams MES for Black Day. Kumaraswamy inaugurates Kempegowda Utsav in Dubai. State Seed Corporation signs MOU with ICRICSAT. HSIT stays proceedings against Jagesh. Hester Multi-Specialty Hospital now open in Whitefield. Demands a walk down the memory lane. The main structure within the Nimans campus, which houses the Department of Psychiatry, is made entirely of stones and is modeled after the Bethlehem Hospital in London. Bethlehem. Event held to create awareness on stroke. Department of Technology awards a comprehensive 5G lab to MIT Manipal. Once upon a time, Ghost to Toast. Just plant based. Keeping alive a passion for watches. Artisans assemble for craft carnival. BRS MP is stabbed in the stomach while campaigning. Bangalore Kambala to have longest track at 155 meters. Kerala blast toll rises to three others critical. Lokayukta police raid premises of 17 officials in Karnataka. Bangalore Urban Jilla Panchayat, Karnataka Public Procurement Portal short-term tender notification. Behind barriers, the 21st edition of the Hindustan Times Leadership Summit is here with esteemed leaders from around the world. The Israel Palestine conflict is at a bend point. Let's read this article editorial page. As I watch the television and see Gaza being pulverized, I am informed that the apartment building I had lived in for 2 years in Gaza between 1996 to 98 was bombed and brought down 2 weeks earlier. It was one of the taller buildings, and I knew it did not stand a chance anyway. I keep wondering what has happened to my friends in Gaza, especially my landlord Abu Jakhari and his lovely family and children, who made life so much easier in a non-family posting. Are they still alive? What Hamas did to Israel on October 7, 2023 was unacceptable. It was a brutal terror attack act. When I chaired the counter-terrorism committee in the United Nations Security Council in 2022, one thing we all agreed on is that there can be no justification for terror, so nothing should justify October 7 as well. But does this make the Palestinian cause, the Palestinian fight against corruption, occupation by Israel for several decades, any less justified? It does not. The UN Security Council's resolutions 242 and 338 embodied the principle of land for peace. Israel should have ideally withdrawn from occupied land in the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem and returned for peace, which is security, recognition, normalcy, and peace for the peoples of these two states of Israel and Palestine. Interestingly, the revised 2017 Charter of Hamas too accepted a two-state solution based on the 1967 borders. Let us face it, the two-state solution alone can bring peace. A one-state solution is a no-state, no non-solution. Israel understandably cannot let Hamas terror go unchallenged. The infrastructure built by Hamas in Gaza needs to be dismantled, and the Israeli hostages released. For Israel, every Israeli life counts, but how much does a Palestinian life count for? Does it justify the culling of 8,000 plus Palestinian civilians in a mere 22 days, with children making up 40%, not counting hundreds under the rubble? Vice versa, the 9,600 casualties in 20 months of the Ukraine conflict. How many Palestinian lives are unacceptable collateral damage? A dehumanization to make such a founding of Gaza acceptable. We have seen the West and their media equate Hamas with all 2.2 million Palestinians in Gaza, so they can be dehumanized and shown to be equally culpable. Dehumanization makes it easier to accept indiscriminate bombings without an outcry. But the West has also tried to equate the fight for Palestinian statehood with this fight against Hamas to discredit the larger cause. This is dangerous. Another Western euphemism is the word humanitarian issues. humanitarian assistance is to meet basic needs when, for example, faced with collective punishment by Israel and the Gazans through a blockade of water, food, medicines, and electricity. But what is unfolding is a human tragedy. The killing of thousands of innocent lives and the mass displacement of 1.2 million Palestinians. There is not a humanitarian question here, but a question of humanity itself. On the Arab world, while one can accuse the West of hypocrisy and double standards, what about the Arabs? Have they not been equally responsible for sidelining Palestine in their race of normalization with Israel? The Arab countries talked about the Palestinian issue and even said that Israel has agreed to stop further annexation, with which Israel did the exact opposite by expanding its settlements. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu actually said that land for peace has now been substituted by peace for peace, and was of the opinion that the real issue in West Asia was now Iran and not Palestine. While Palestine statehood was a footnote in the normalization agreements with Israel, it is in danger of being reduced to a footnote to history. Even the present reaction of the Arab countries is to contain the popular support in their streets. Could not the Gulf countries have put their oil clout to better effect before the Israeli ground operations started? Normalizing relations with Israel while ignoring the Palestinian issue will not give them security, especially when they are moving toward a more liberal governance in the Gulf. Israel is no less complicit in this cause in this course. Successive governments have strived to make the two-state solutions more and more difficult. The current ultra-nationalist government of Israel is only an extreme manifestation, since it has openly declared its opposition to a two-state solution. How else can one explain the fact that 250 Palestinian civilians were killed in the West Bank alone before October 7, where no Hamas is present? How else can one explain the ultra untrammeled expansion of settlements and creating facts on the ground, with everyone watching helplessly with this transgression of UN Security Council Resolution 2334? And even more fundamentally, was it not Israel that nurtured Hamas to undercut the Palestine Liberation Organization and Fatah, and later President Nasser Arafat himself, including by releasing the jailed spiritual founder of Hamas, Sheikh Hassan, to Gaza? The irony of Israel-Palestine history is that it is only when there is a major violent conflagration that the Palestinian issue receives attention. Then comes agreement followed by non-implementation. Violence begins again and then agreement, and so the Kalachikra moves on. The Yom Kippur War of 1973 led to the Israel-Egypt camp and David Accords in 1978 with the promise of Palestinian self-rule. When nothing happened, Intifada came in 1987. Hamas came into existence. The Intifada led to the Oslo Accords of 1993 and 1995, with more promise of self-rule through the Palestinian Authority. Another round of sliding violence, or even an election in between the broken promises. Broken promises. Gaza is now widely acknowledged as the largest open-air prison. So here we are condemning Hamas, and rightly so, for this terror act, but not acknowledging the permission and commission of the first is why the UN Secretary General warned that such incidents do not occur in a vacuum. As the former Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Barak, said in an interview, the Gaza ground operations will throw up issues such as the retrieving of hostages, potential violations of international law by Israel, mounting civilian casualties, and erosion of international support, possible regional player up, and finally identifying who to pass the baton to when the operations are complete. If operations prolong, and all indicators pointed to it and dragging on, and civilian casualties mount, and Gaza gets depopulated as refugees flow out. It will be an even bigger human disaster. It will potentially kill Palestinian statehood unless the Kalachakra brings about something more tangible than Paul's promises. India stand while we have always stood for a two-state solution. India has rightly been why of the fallout after acts in Israel in on its neighborhood. India is in sync with the Arab world in its normalization with Israel, with groupings such as the ITU2 in India, Israel, and the United Arab Emirates and the United States. While we do not have a direct role yet, since it is time the US and the West and the Gulf and the Arab world showed leadership first. Any regional fallout will affect us. Therefore, going forward, it is important for India to come out not just against terrorism but also more forcefully against the human tragedy playing out in Gaza. And this its proximity with Israel and the US will only be an asset. Last was India should have made efforts for a consensus on the Gaza vote at the UN. The COVID-19 death toll in 90 India, getting it right. Let's read this. The COVID-19 pandemic extracted a heavy mortality toll across the world during 2020 and 2021, and this has been a huge global public health concern. Given the challenges in direct causal attribution of deaths to COVID 19 infection, the international public health community emphasized the need to measure pandemic impact in terms of excess mortality, driven by comparing observed mortality during the pandemic with expected mortality based on pre-pandemic trends. Ideally, excess mortality estimation requires robust population-based mortality data from a death registration systems. Gaps in registration data. India faced a big challenge in estimating excess deaths directly due to COVID 19, as death registration in India is still about 70%, which further varies widely across states and districts. Pandemic severity was particularly observed in India during the second wave in April to June 2021. India's death registration data also sure does not give weekly or monthly mortality data, which is essential for excess death calculation. To assess the mortality toll, independent investigators compared mortality records from local offices of the government civil registration system in 14 states and 9 cities across India from January 2018 to May 2021. These were published in the media reports compared in the data series published in the Hindu. Various scientific terms utilized these and other available mortality data from the sample registration system and household surveys to develop modeled access mortality estimates for India. COVID 19 related death estimates are varied widely from one to another study. The highest was 4.7 million excess deaths in India during 2020 to 2021, using available local data as inputs for mortality models. So there has been a intense debate and a controversy around the likely plausibility of various mortality estimates for India, which have focused on the statistical methods and data assumptions employed for estimation. However, most of these studies could not overcome some crucial biases in the input data for the modeling exercises, so as well as in the assumptions applied to fill data gaps. Some studies are based on insufficient samples, while others have information bias at various levels. It is very likely that the COVID related excess deaths in India may have overestimated. Set up a task force. The official ASEA's report for 2021 is scheduled for release shortly and holds much promise for providing the best possible primary evidence. How it may also lead to new debates if variations such as improvements in reporting, delayed registration, and remaining deficiencies in data completeness across states by sex and age are not considered appropriate and appropriately accounted for. While inferring from this data, therefore, it is necessary that the government should convene a task force for national experts in this field to attend to this matter. This task force could be provided access to all the micro data from the CRS, SRS, and other relevant data sources as necessary. Once equipped with all the available and required information, the task force will be enabled to conduct a thorough analysis using standard statistical methods that utilize empirical data to provide measures of excess mortality by sex and age at national, state, and district levels. District level interventions. Going forward, the imperative for accurate district level mortality measures is urgent. For evidence based health action to tackle the quadruple burden from maternal and child health conditions, infectious diseases, non communicable diseases, and injuries. Hence, while the outputs of such a detailed analysis would complete the debate on pandemic mortality in India. The analytical operations will establish a capacity of subnational mortality measurement and also inform interventions to strengthen local data equality. Concomitantly, there is also an urgent need to strengthen attribution of causes of death, either through medical certification for physical attended deaths or through the use of retrospective interview methods for household events. Taken together, the activities of the National Task Force for Data Analysis, along with proposed initiatives for data quality improvement, will vastly enhance the utility of the CRS for routine local and national mortality measurement in India. Tie bags, and there needs to be a fair investigation of the Kala Masari blast and killed towards stabilization of US-China ties. In time, review at your own peril. Seeking a gag on island for film reviewers is an attack on freedom of expression. Putting the 70-hour work week idea into perspective. More work does not necessarily translate into more productivity. Maratha Kota still stands violent as NCP office leaders' homes are touched. Agitators set fire to houses of two MLAs from Bid district belonging to rival factions of the party. Attempts on to diffuse tensions. Association the 11,530 Maratha community members with hold can be records will get benefits immediately. Yards. Fill vacancies in CIC, SIC, top court, tells center states. As he puts Maharashtra speaker on deadline. AP tram accident death toll rises to 14. Israel Hamas stand up Congress is driven by vote bank politics, BJP. Indefinite suspension from a house, a matter of constituency as CGI. Congress reiterates a demand for JPC probe against Adani. Top court refuses to grant bail to Sisodia in excise policy case. Hours after CC dismisses Sisodia's bail petition, AD issues a summons to Kejriwal. Gas subsidy free power among Congress promises. BJP plays Holly MNF for sitting on road projects. The BJP has pushed Madhya Pradesh into a sea up debate with each child born in the state inheriting a debate of 40,000. Shiraj Fly files full papers from Budni seat. Priyanka Gandhi and her brother come here and make promises to the people, but they do not necessarily stick to what they say. Telangana Jana Samiti to back Congress in assembly polls. Expectation versus reality. Gaylord Congress trade a fine line on welfare schemes. There is overwhelming support for the Chief Minister's projects, but poor implementation in remote corners of the desert state meets with howls of protests. But irrespective of the perceived anti-incumbency trend against MLAs, the Congress is fielding 67 of its 100 sitting legislatures. In Chhattisgarh, democracy goes to grassroots as more polling booths come up in hamlets. After tough EC action, Telangana officials keep decisions in abeyance. Election Commission has transferred over 2 dozen IPS and IS officers in the state after had opposed. Government promises all efforts to get a Navy veterans released from Qatar prison. Families meet Jaishankar, Navy chief in New Delhi. Government awaits detailed Qatar judgment that sentenced them to death on espionage charge. Indian embassy in Doha coordinating logistics for the families, including access to accused men. Migrant worker shot dead, infiltrator killed in Kupwara. Center silent on data leak from ICMR portal. Rajasthan CM's son appears before reading FEMA probe. Electoral bonds promote and help donate clean money to parties. AG. COVID-19 vaccines did not increase the risk of sudden death among youth. Study. TCS Jayakathan. Jayakanthan wins a business line which no stress in Bhakti. SCT squashes SGB's ban on key role for GE's Goenka. Tribunal allows a markets regulator to proceed with investigation into alleged diversion of G Entertainment Enterprises Limited funds by Goenka and Chandra for personal financial gain. Small finance banks EU and FineKey agree to merge. Space tech firm Skyroot raises to 27 million and to drive growth. Ronnie Madras Q to net helps to 7 crore in an exceptional item. FFM urges closer global cooperation to halt smuggling in NAB masterminds. TVS Motor Q2 profit climbs 32% to 537 crore. Only three e-com platforms have minimum wage policy. Israel says it carried out airstrikes on military infrastructure in Syria. Bangladesh ruling party holds rally to denounce a violent protest. Iran attributes the attack on US forces to wrong American policies. ICC lawyer issues a warning stopping aid from reaching Gaza. Israeli forces expand ground assault closing on Gaza as a city. UN warns of airstrikes eating close to crowded hospitals. Netanyahu says a ceasefire in the Gaza war will not happen as it will amount to surrendering to the territories Islamist rulers Hamas. Biden signs order to regulate AI in US days before Sunak's AI safety summit. Companies to notify government of technologies that impact national security, economic security, and public health. Hundreds storm airport in Russia in anti-Semitic riot over arrival of plane from Israel. Crowd examines passports of arriving passengers to identify those who were Israeli. Palestinian who stabbed Israeli police shot it. Chinese vessel begins research of the coast of Sri Lanka amid India's concern. Rashid is both Afghan to reach the three-figure mark in ODIs. Insham quits as chief selector amidst World Cup fiasco. CAB plans to distribute 70,000 Kohli masks for Eden spectators. India has not been tested as so far in this World Cup, says Grammy Smith. Faruqi and fire as Afghanistan keeps itself in the hunt for a semi-final berth. The Afghanistan faithful have the time of their lives. Shahidi had Afghanistan's day out in Pune. Popular Lankan Shia leaders Uncle Percy passes away. Struggling Pakistan, Bangladesh look for course correction. Not sure where you get favorites from Brad Boone. Baba's men who have suffered four consecutive losses still nurture hopes of a semi-final berth while Shakib and Co know that with their last four dream is practically over. The man in blue's current unbeaten run is another pointer to home comforts. India exacts a revenge on China for Hangzhou loss. Sabalenka sigils a fastest Sakari in opener. Hailing Vithya cruises to an easy victory. Adlers Tejas and Jyoti and Vaka Priyanka breaks games records. Kushagra Bhavya and Arishita swim to new marks. Lucky June triumphs in bold venture plate. Verstappen creates history with a 16th win of the season. Lakra scores hat-trick as India storms into the semi-final. Napoli rallies to clinch a draw against Milan. The defending champion scores twice in the second half after Giroud's praise for the red and blacks in this past season session. Delhi FC and TRAU play out a draw. Bangalore FC has a slight advantage against Odisha. Bhanwala wins a rapid fire pistol branch and whole Olympic quota. After booking the flight to India, the Netherlands continues to soar higher and higher. Max O'Dowd, in an interview with the Hindu, reveals that the Dutchman spent a lot of time on spin camps and spin bowling in the lead up to the World Cup. The opener says the team is massively proud of the progress it's making and hopes that it will raise the profile of cricket back home. Sabalenka feels disrespected by WTA at unsafe Cancun court, expresses disappointment. WTA defends its court. IIT team finds carbon flows excelling it at turning light to heat. Researchers at IIT Bombay have synthesized particles that absorb free three frequencies of sunlight and convert it to heat with an efficiency of 77%. These particles can be coated on surfaces to heat homes and sterilize services in hospitals. The researchers have applied for a patent. And what a trip today, think of physics. Text and context are used in the numbers. The coal dispatched by the South Asia's tested coalfields. Palestinians killed in Hamas conclude a Gaza Strip. Illegal drugs are trafficked globally as per CBIC chairman. People missing after deadly boat accident in Nigeria. The number of people internally displaced in Congo, easing the transport of cargo by railways. There is an immediate need to develop a common user facilities to add cargo aggregation and dispersal points in mining clusters, industrial clusters, and large cities. As the no knowledge of these clusters and test rests with the taste states, a collaboration with the state governments is of utmost importance. The expansion of settlements into flood-prone areas. What did a recent study led by the World Bank and published in Nature say about the flood risk in India? The act of photocopying its origins, working and wide-ranging impact. Xerography revolutionized the way we copy, print, and distribute textual material. Xerographic machines are in ubiquitous use around the world today to quickly and cheaply reproduce printed material. A quiz on the Iron Man of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, on his 148th birth anniversary. This is the last page, guys. I hope you guys at least continue reading for 2 hours to make you better in communication, English communication. I'm sure you will be very fluent in English in the next 30 days if you are the beginner. To start, continue for 2 hours. I hope you guys have enjoyed the newspaper reading and make note of the words which you are not able to understand and find out the grammar, like find out the meaning for those words in your mother tongue if you are finding the difficulty, and day by day just revise those words which you are not able to understand and also revise the words which is very uncomfortable to understand when you write and make a note once. So see you in the upcoming videos, guys. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel, like and comment. If you like the video, please share with your friends. It may useful for somebody to utilize the opportunities. And see you in the upcoming videos, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care.